Hello everybody, and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the difference between this Corvette that I have and actually my brother's BRZ. As you've probably seen in some of the other videos, he actually has a 2013 white BRZ, and he loves it. They're just two completely different cars, and they drive differently and they operate differently. But I kind of wanted to make a video talking about how it feels to drive those two different types of cars. You know, here in the Corvette, you have 400 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque, a big old V8, and the torque really is the big factor on it. It's the thing that really makes it feel so quick and so fast. The acceleration for the Corvette is really so appealing. I enjoy it so much, and it never gets old. It sounds great, and there's just so many factors that go into why this Corvette is such a great vehicle to own and to drive. That rear-wheel drive, it really gives the car every part of what a sports car is, especially coupled with my manual transmission. Now, not every Corvette is a manual transmission, and a lot of them actually are automatics. I obviously would much prefer what I have, which is a manual transmission. My brother's is actually an automatic. He doesn't drive a manual vehicle, and it's a great little automatic, but it doesn't quite give you the raw feeling that my vehicle does. Now, again, like I said, this car has tons of acceleration, and it's actually got the Z51 package. It can get around a track pretty good. It definitely has a lot of the aspects. It can make a turn, and it can hold that turn, but it's completely different in my brother's car. So my brother's car actually only has about 200 horsepower and about 150 pound-feet of torque. And so there's a huge difference in power, and it's only a 4-cylinder. So the power delivery and the way it feels is significantly different. They're two completely different platforms. However, he's lighter than I am, and he just feels so much more nimble. There's a reason why his car is designed to be on the track. And I'm actually going to play a little bit of video of a Subaru going around a track so you can get a feeling for how it handles. So as you guys can see in that video, the BRZ just handles abnormally well. It just is a track beast. Even though the speed isn't there like it is in the Corvette, I can't kind of over-explain how good it is to turn. When I got to drive it the first couple times, I was shocked at its ability to take a corner and hold that corner at speed. It just does not feel like it has any of that body roll. It's a low vehicle, doesn't weigh a lot, and it is rear-wheel drive, a lot like the Corvette. So it just pushes you out of that turn, and it really is a great sports car. Again, a lot of people get hung up on the speed. Yeah, at speed, if I was at 60 miles an hour, it doesn't have that much oomph to get up. Anything over 90, it doesn't feel like it has the power to push itself that hard. But it doesn't matter. Driving it around town or around some back road corners and some valleys, it really shines in those aspects. Another thing is the rides. Both of the rides are very stiff, and that's because they are sports cars. I will say this C6, if you're looking at one, know that the ride is harsh. Now, there is a active dampering system that is that is on a lot of the Corvettes. Mine does not have it. I have the Z51, so I have just stiff. It is pretty stiff. Like I said, I've driven a C7. I got to test drive one, and it's amazing. That magnetic ride is really, truly a treat, especially if you own a C6 and get to drive one of those, because those selective modes are so impressive. So I'm really, really impressed with that feature. But back to the C6 and the BRZ, they don't have those features, so their ride is really, really rough. I feel like our car's cabins are decent places to be driving in. Now, his car's a lot newer. He has a lot newer features, but when I actually upgraded my infotainment system to the touchscreen, I did catch him on that. I now have Bluetooth, and I have a lot of the features that his car came with that mine did not. But he has a little bit newer features included that I do not have, but we both have some nice seats. I do actually feel like my seats are a little bit nicer. The bolstering's a little bit better. His is really hard bucket seats. Mine have a little bit more comfort to them, and I like that aspect of them. All right, so the last thing that I wanted to hit on is actually the price comparison. Now, his Subaru BRZ was right around 30 grand. He does have the limited package. This car, when it was new, was about 60. So my car was about double in price, and that also was about an 8-year time gap. So it was one of those things that my car is a lot more expensive than his vehicle, and there are a lot of features on his that I really enjoy, even over the Corvettes. Now, given that, my consumables, things that I have to replenish on this vehicle, brakes, tires, are also a lot more expensive. I went out and purchased this car for $25,000, so I actually paid less than what he purchased his brand new car for. Now, granted, mine was a 10-year-old vehicle, and it had 12,000 miles. His was brand new when he drove it off the lot. So there are those differences. But the other thing you also got to take into consideration is what I was explaining, the cost to own and operate. My insurance is more than his. My consumables, my tires, my brakes, even my oil changes are a lot more than his. His BRZ, for being a sports car, is so cheap to own. It really is a kind of all-in-one sports car. There are a lot of features on it that are just incredible, and I do recommend anybody that's interested at that price point in a car should definitely consider the Subaru BRZ. It really does handle and drive that great. If you can get not hung up on the speed factor, and it is quick, 0 to 60, it's a quick little vehicle, but anything over that, you know, highway driving, if you're trying to do highway pulls with a Corvette or a muscle car, you're going to get smoked. It's just kind of part of it. But you try and get a Challenger or even a Hellcat to hang with you in the corners, trust me, that BRZ is going to hang, and it's only going to be in the straights that those cars really overtake it. So it's one of those things that I wanted to kind of bring up and talk about in this video that brings so much appeal to the BRZ over the Corvette. Guys, that's kind of going to end the video. This was just kind of a fun video. I wanted to assess the differences between my brother's BRZ and my Corvette. They're both sports cars, but again, at completely different segments. But thank you so much for joining us. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and you guys have a great day. Take care.